Hi everyone, it's me. If you're new here, my name is Alanna and I'm a Canadian, but I live here in the UK. And if you're not new here, hey, how's it going? Were your bins collected? Because I think they missed mine. My whole YouTube channel is discovering what it means to be British, and one of my favorite ways to do that, you guessed it, is through the British sense of humor. So today, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna watch funny videos, compilations, memes, photos. I don't know what we're gonna see. It's a surprise to me, but I hope you'll join me. Have a seat, get cozy, put your feet up, relax. Hope you're doing well. I think we should start off here with some British memes. Hope it makes you smile. If it doesn't, that sucks. Anywho, let me just get comfortable. 1 second. By comfortable, I mean slouch. Oh, that's it. That's the stuff. All right, here we go.
There's a wall! There's a wall!
Bro, how's my man fully wearing a jacket, Bali, in 32 degrees, bro? It's too hot to be wearing this shit, bro. Oh my days, man.
Oh. No, thank you. I don't live in London, and I honestly never would. It's just too much. I think I'm too old now. I love to visit London. I love being close to London that I can get in easy enough and get back out again. But I don't live there and I don't go enough to know like which stations have the really bad stairs, because some of them are much deeper than others. So unfortunately, there's been times when I've been like, yeah, I'm just gonna take the stairs, it's no biggie. And then I realize like, oh no, I'm at the station where you're not supposed to do that.
Yeah, this says what I'm thinking. I'm thinking of Christmas. What are you thinking of? Yes. No, that's just on there.
No.
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 Possibly one of the worst starts to a morning.
Oh, that was abrupt. To be fair, Canada is the same way. Some days you get ready for work, it's really nice out, and then it starts snowing. Love that.
I knocked the shampoo over in the shower.
Okay, he
bent down to
accidentally
pick it
shaved
up.
his head.
On the way back up, my head clipped something. You're thinking, Andy, what are you on about? Clipped a razor. I've cut myself a little bald spot.
Unfortunate. What is the point?
Ah, you're not bad. Ah, you dickhead.
I feel like I've seen this. Can you believe it? When your village vet can't afford the red arrows, you get the red... You know what? I respect it. That is ridiculous. But what a vibe.
It's not. It's not.
Said daddy? Oh my god. Oh, that hurts. 40 quid.
Yo, is that phone for me, bro?
No.
Is that phone for me? Run me your phone, bro. Mum's out. Get donkey, bro. I swear to God. Come here now.
Go on, boy!
Sorry for the interruptions. The last time I had a bag rip open, this is so embarrassing. I had gone to a shop and we bought like it was like fancy dips or something. So embarrassing to say this out loud. I love trying food, okay? If you look on my YouTube channel, I got like so many videos of taste testing. I hope you like those videos because I keep doing them. And I bought this, it was like some sort of fancy dip. And I had it in, you know, the little bag, and I was walking home, and the bottom of the bag, of course, fell out, and the dip went all over the ground, all over my feet, and exploded, like, up my trousers. Yay!
Hot girls hit curbs. How big was the fucking curb?
We've just come to Aldi. It actually is as well.
That's
Excuse me,
incredible!
miss, where'd you do your shopping? Is it Aldi? Aldi?
All right, the rest of those weren't very funny. Personal opinion. That's the fun thing about meme compilations. Sometimes you just get absolute bangers and then you get things that are just not funny. It's just a surprise. Now, can I do a cheeky plug if you don't mind? It does actually make sense to this video and this is not an ad. So if you skip, I'm gonna be devastated. I live stream on Twitch. Spoiler alert, I live stream on Twitch. I also have Patreon and YouTube memberships. Now, Patreon and YouTube memberships is the same exclusive content. It's just some people like the different platforms, whatever you like. YouTube memberships, Patreon, Twitch. One of the perks on those channels is you have access to our chat room on Discord. Are you following me so far? On our Discord, I said, hey, I would like to do a video reacting to British humor. Can you post all of your memes, your funny videos, whatever you like, and I'll react to it on the video. So that is what we're gonna do now. So a community member posted this, funny British memes. God, this page is bright. Let's have a look, shall we? One of the biggest downgrades in UK history. Pause. When you visit a place like the UK, you have no real understanding what it's like to live there. Maybe that's surprising, maybe it's not. It's like, yeah, Alanna, of course not. You don't live there. There are certain things that I've learned since living here that looking back on is kind of wild. That sentence doesn't really make sense, but let me explain. When I used to visit the UK, and I did visit a couple of times before moving here, taking a photo with a red telephone box, A+. Throw that up on social media. Hell yeah, that's a great photo. Having lived in the UK, you could not pay me enough money in the world to get in or around a red telephone box. And that is something that you learn when you live here. Saying that though, these new ones, where's the whimsy? Where's the joy? There's something so iconic about the red telephone box booths that I do love, but they are disgusting. If you're a foreigner and you didn't know that, surprise, don't ever get in one, all right? You're going to get diseases that haven't been discovered yet. A prisoner who died and was brought back claims his life sentence has technically ended. He's not wrong. Primary school kids have iPhones. Man, when I was their age, I used to spread PPA glue on my hands, wait for it to dry, and peel it off. Yes. I remember I got my first ever flip phone. Just a brick of a thing, and I was only given it if, like, I was kidnapped and I needed to call for help. Police robot told woman to go away after she tried to report crime, then sang a song. Imagine getting mugged to only get a police egg to tell you to piss off, then roll away to singing Highway to Hell, the future is now. This policeman fighting against his destiny, and I respect him for that. PC robs banks. You know he just gets mercilessly teased for that. And every day he's like, no, just call me Robert. What's England like? Yes. Morning of my dad's wedding, I was 14. Why do I look like a disgrace? UKIP candidate! Oh my god! That's incredible. Teacher sees disco equipment from 12-year-old boy who hosted rave at school toilets. You know what? Credit where credit is due. What I look like in my mind, what I look like in the ass is self-checkout camera. I love a self-checkout. I will always be a self-checkout girly. I know some people are like, oh no, you should use the regular lines. Like, you do you, my guy. I will always do self-checkout. But you don't ever look in that camera. Ever. Unless you're feeling that you need to be humbled. Don't look in the camera. We've officially reached that point in the year where it's too hot to sleep without a window open, but if you open a window, the entire cast of A Bug's Life comes into your room. Okay, here is another thing that you don't ever think about or notice or realize until you properly live here. In North America, all windows have screens. It's not something I ever thought about. I think largely health and safety, but it's just like become standard. All the windows have screens. When I moved here, None of the windows have screens. And at first I was like, wow, this is so nice. You can open the window. You can just like look out the window and see out the window. You're not like being obscured by a net or like a screen or anything. You're just like looking out the window. How lovely. How novel. Until, however, you realize that bugs are a thing. And I'll tell you what, recently, okay, if you want to skip this story, I totally get it. But honestly, I've never had anything like this happen to me before. I was reading in bed. The lights were low, the window was open, reading in bed. Wonderful. And I heard this like loud kind of rustling noise. And I thought originally, we have like this plant in the bedroom, and I thought maybe like one of the leaves fell off because the leaves are like quite substantial. But then I could still kind of hear it in that direction. So I get up and I kind of like peek over the bed and I see this big black mass. So I scream because that's like the normal thing to do. And we turn up the lights, and it is the largest beetle I have ever seen with my own eyes, not in a zoo. Apparently it was like, I want to say it was a female stag beetle or something that you can get in England, particularly in the south. I want to say that's what Google said. It was huge, and I'm standing there and it's trying to fly around our room. The pinchers were so disgusting. I mean, she was beautiful, but not in my bedroom. So thankfully, while I was screaming and taking pictures, my partner got this huge like tub and a piece of cardboard and was able to scoop her and take her outside. I had never seen anything like that. And what's crazy is when I first heard the noise, I almost just disregarded it. Can you imagine falling asleep with that thing in your room and then it like crawling? No, let's not go there. Anyway, it was the craziest bug I've ever seen fly in my room, not having a screen. So anyway, the little smile you give to old people when you walk past them to prove you're not. Does anyone know where Ash Brown live, or got a number for him, please? Is that him? If you're ever bored and you want to have a little bit of a giggle, perhaps, the local Facebook groups for like towns and villages, savage. I would never feel confident enough posting in those groups because even like the most monotonous posts always get sarcastic, like banter-ish. Sometimes they're not very funny, but I think they're trying to be funny comments. No matter what, even if it's something like, does anyone know why the bins weren't collected? Because you know people are posting that. The comments are ruthless. So for that reason, I will literally never post in those groups ever. Flock of sheep visit empty McDonald's restaurant during lockdown. Oh, McDonald's now a farm. Tell me you're in Wales without telling me you're in Wales. Things British people can't believe: how cold it is, how dark it is, how quick the year has gone, how it's nearly Christmas, the price of a Freddo. I will say, I now am shocked by all of these except the Freddo because I don't eat them. And I didn't live here when the Freddos were 10 pence. Because that's always what people say, right? Like, oh my god, Freddo used to be 10p. It's like, okay, love that for you. Not in my reality. But everything else, 100%. So I write a newsletter. Subtle plug, not sponsored, but whatever. I have a monthly newsletter. If you want to sign up, it's free. There's usually a link in every video description. I don't know how many, like, do people go in there? There's links in there. But every time I sit down to write my monthly newsletter, it's like, wow, a whole month has gone by. Wow, it's almost Christmas. It's going to be dark soon. It's going to get to the point in the year where it's dark at 3 p.m. Like, how did this happen? US children speaking in British accents because of Peppa Pig. When you buy something for 99p with a £1 coin and tell a boss man to keep the change. Which Spice Girl do you relate to? Me, Skin Spice. Oh my god. Big rip. The Northern Lights are a beautiful natural phenomenon. Incredible. Now in the Discord, I did get a lot of video submissions, like classic TV segments and shows and stuff, which I don't want to get copyright claimed, ideally, but I think we can maybe try a couple. And if the YouTube gods are upset by that, I'll just cut them out and you guys won't see them. But what about this? Eric Morecambe ham on ice cream.
I will. He's not going to sell much ice cream going at that speed, is he?
Short and sweet and to the point. Also, I watch a lot of relaxing Zelda spa music. There's a lot of submissions of this Kenny Everett Reg Prescott DIY. That is a lot of words. I don't know if that's his name and the show or the segment of said show in another show. Not totally sure. You know what? We're out here learning. I will say this does say it's BBC4 and they hate when you look at their stuff. So we're going to give it a go and see what happens.
Oh, hello. Hello, DIY buffs. Reg Prescott here with some more helpful DIY tips for all DIY freaks out there in DIY land. Well, you'll let us keep rolling in. And as you can see, I've got them stacked in this handy mail rack that we made last week for a staggering total of £1.87. This one is from, just before we start, I'd like to say a few words about looking after your tools. A dirty tool is no use.
Life was simpler back then, eh? You just had to say a word in a funny way and people love it.
To anybody. They've got to be in the right place and clean and sharp, like our old mate, the crosscut saw. He likes to live down here, and I've really had a go at sharpening him today.
Sorry about that, Kenny. Pick it up from after the saw.
Yes, please.
Because it seemed all right up to there. Hello. Hello. Well, now to business. Let's get on with our French provincial Louis XIV cabinet, or cabinet, as they say in the Belle France. You'll remember last week we started the cabinet, and we've completed the frame. This week, we'll be doing the doors. And for this, we'll be using our trusty old chum, the electric jigsaw, down here.
Hold it.
I was holding it.
Literally crying with laughter right now. When I was a kid, this used to make me everybody's literally crying with laughter. Rolling around the floor in tears. A very underrated comedian, probably the funniest man ever. That is fascinating. I've never heard of this. I mean, I can say that I know a lot about British humor, like TV shows, comedy shows, all that kind of stuff. But when you actually sit down and think about it, I know very little. I'd say I know a decent amount of modern stuff, but I certainly don't know pretty much any historical stuff. And I know historical maybe is not the right word. Apologies. But for a show like in the 70s or 80s to someone who was born in the 90s, can I say historical? Is that okay? It's too late now. I can't think of another word. How about classic? There's so much of this that I don't have any frame of reference for. I've never seen. I don't know. You know, I don't know how much I don't know, but I know that it's a lot. Another submission in our Discord. What's it like in the UK? Man may have jail term increased after calling judge absolute helmet. There is something about British people and creative insults. I don't know how else to explain it, but the Brits come up with the most devastatingly creative insults. You're not going to get them anywhere else. British humor at its finest. Rail replacement. I'm a train choo-choo. There's nothing worse than coming out of the train station and having to take a rail replacement. Although if mine did say I'm a train choo-choo, I would smile and I'd say, oh, that's nice. And then I would resume crying. My mother-in-law sent me this shirt all the way from England. She must really like me. I think it's from a yacht club. Rough. Just took my 93-year-old mom to vote. She's registered blind. In a loud voice, she said, which box for war with France? A cheer went up from waiting voters. I don't normally believe these posts. You know, it's just people being funny, and I respect it. They don't have to be real. This one feels very real. This one just says British humor, but I don't know where it's from. Maybe you guys will recognize it.
Deepest well we've ever dug. What's the light at the bottom?
Well, we followed the plans.
Yeah, we did just what he said. You're supposed to be building a lighthouse. Deepest well we've ever...
Nobody wanted to proofread the subtitles though, eh? Okay, we've got another one that has double watermarks. I love when someone uploads it to TikTok and then someone takes it and uploads it to their TikTok and then someone takes it and uploads it to YouTube. I hope that is a good sign that it won't get copyright blocked, but let's find out. One of the best British skits ever made.
Good evening, sir.
Hello?
We're from the local police station. Can you confirm that your name is Mr. Tim Vine?
Yeah, that's me.
Mr. Tim Vine, Chartered Surveyor of 27 Addison Road.
Yeah, that's me. What's going on?
We're here on a very serious matter, sir. We're going to have to ask you to accompany us to the police station.
What, now? I can't.
I'm afraid we're going to have to insist.
No, but I'm waiting for my wife. It's my birthday today. We're having a party and there's loads of people.
We've come here just to say we hope you're having a lovely day. But now it's time to tell you straight the reason why we wandered through your garden gate. Oh, your wife's been killed. She's crashed the car. She went through the windscreen and traveled quite far. She's dead. She's gone. She's got no more life. Please come to the station and identify your wife.
A+. That's great. Oh, don't read the top comment that comes up, kind of ruins the joke. Hi, sorry, I wasn't paying attention and my battery died. What was I saying? Good question. While we're hanging out, I hope you're doing well. I hope you're having a nice time. If you're here and you're not having a nice time, that's unfortunate. But for the rest of us here having a nice time, how about some very British problems? I love this account. I have a couple of the books. I just think they're so wonderful. And it's a real interesting insight into British culture that maybe isn't the really obvious, like, stereotypical stuff. Of course it's stereotypical, but it feels much more like genuine. None of this is making sense. If you think your week's off to a rough start, the lady in front of me at the post office forgot to bring her parcel, which was her only reason for visiting the post office today. Every time I go to the post office, I feel like everybody around me has never been to a post office before. When you've been studying the online menu for 24 hours and then you get to the restaurant and it's a different menu. I chose what I wanted yesterday. My appetite expects it, and now it's not here. It's at this point, I append to the table and storm out. We became fed up of having nowhere to put worn but not dirty so can be worn again clothes that would just end up in a pile. So we bought a neat little basket to keep them in. Inevitably, clothes are now going on top. This is literally what I do. I have a little cheap basket that I want to say I got from IKEA. But it could have also been Amazon. And if clothes are dirty, they go in the basket. If I've worn them for a little bit and they're not that dirty, they can't go back into my dresser because I've worn them, but they're not dirty to be washed in the basket. So they go on top of the basket. It's just a good practice. Has anyone tried these? I bet they're very Moorish. Marmite puffs. No. If anyone's wondering, I haven't tried these. I have tried the Marmite crisps. There's like a classic chip crisp, you know, potato chip crisp. I've tried those, don't like them. It's so strange because I feel like on paper I should absolutely love Marmite. I love savory. I love like salty, savory more so than sweet stuff, and yet Marmite, I just got goosebumps. I just can't. Maybe someday, but it is not this day. I popped out for milk and ended up in a battle reenactment. That's classic Britain. I do love that the UK still has so many really unique traditions and festivals, and I know so many of them are organized and like funded largely by the local community. They're put on by volunteers, you know, and I just think that is so nice. And I do hope that's something that continues. I know it's not easy to continue, but I hope that it continues because there's loads of really weird festivals around the UK that I would very much like to see before they stop. I think we can all agree this is an all-time great. Yes. I have done many a biscuit taste test. Even though I don't prefer sweets, I still love them. The Fox's Golden Crunch Creams are absolutely divine, delicious. Unfortunately, they go stale like you would not believe, so you better just eat the whole thing. Like, just eat them all in one go. Save yourself the hassle. 10 out of 10 biscuit. Knowing a situation has become drastically out of hand when a British person says, now come on, there's no need for that. I love it. All right. I feel like I should probably end there. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. I hope you had fun. If you would like to support me further and also get access to our Discord chat room, please consider YouTube memberships, Patreon, or Twitch. Even if you don't want to subscribe on Twitch, you can still hang out on the live streams. I'm live every Wednesday night and Sunday night. You don't have to have an account. You can just come and hang out. If you would like to watch something else, which I would be so grateful for, how about, you know what? Banned British adverts. Absolutely hilarious adverts. The only time I want to watch commercials. Do you know what I mean? But as always, thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye!